Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Yusudek Ben the Weed, and March 4th, 2017, I had another dream, and this one is kind of far out. I mean, I understand how it sounds; it's far out, but I do believe this is a dream from Yah. If He wills me to share it, I will share it. But I visited the Microrealms. I know that sounds. You would think, like, what? But Yah allowed me to see the realms. I know people like, that don't sound like anything in scripture. I mean, like, hold on. Scripture says in the last days, knowledge shall increase, and many shall go to and fro. Let me get that scripture for you so I can quote it exactly. In the last... Yes, I know I'm typing in Google. Days, knowledge shall be increased, and many shall run to and fro. It is Daniel 12 and 4. If I'm not mistaken, it says, "But you, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." Knowledge shall be increased. Why is this important? Because we know that people are studying hyperdimensions and finding all sorts of weird hyperdimensional shapes. Like, there's one in particular that I won't pronounce the name of because I don't know where the name comes from. And Torah says, do not pronounce the name of any idols, nor give them any remembrance. So I don't know where the name comes from. I'm not going to say it. But it's talking about a manifold shape. And the first word starts with a K, and the other word starts with a Y. Look in the description box, and I'll put the name. And it's a hyperdimensional shape, and it's ultra microscopic. And so let me just read to you. I saw that maybe one day scientists will discover the microrealms and see what I saw, because this is becoming real science. People are seeing this stuff, or at least finding evidence of it, and the theory is being starting to either be validated or unvalidated. This validated by the findings, such as at the LHC. Now, I know how this sounds, but hey, I trust y'all, and I wait on y'all, and I know I won't be put to shame. Now, this is what I saw. Now, there was a part of the dream before this, and I was talking to somebody, probably an angel, and I was sent somewhere, and then all of a sudden I was in this land that was like nothing but fractals, and it was called the Microrealms. You know, in Hebrew you would call it something different. I know in ancient Hebrew, himakum katanit, deberut zerua, where, you know, a place where things are planted. The smallest of small places where things are planted. So I was in this microwave realm, and I saw these fractals. And then, I read what I wrote. Then I saw Michael. Not Michael the Archangel. Well, at least I don't know if that's Michael the Archangel, but I'm just so right. Then I saw Michael. He's one of the keepers of the microrealms. And this is numerous typos, so I'm not going to edit my words. I wrote what I wrote, and I'm going to read it. Then I saw Michael, one of the keepers of the micro realms, and he said, "If you speak here, something has to be planted. Words were spoken here before, and it caused damage. And from his spirit with thoughts. There was a hole in the fractal, on a fractal, which was spherical almost, and something was planted there, yet it did not fully take root and we sighed. Oh. This is the second time I saw Michael in this Sabbath morning. The first time I spoke, and the second time I did not. The microrealms were fractals, and the keepers of them were as fractal pieces. Michael was one of the keepers, and his charge was to warn them that come from speaking. And there were where the thing which was planted was other keepers, and they all sighed when it did not fully take root. Their color was yellow, as the color of fractal structure of the fractal structure of the microrealm, and also which was the color of the seed which was planted. The air or atmosphere around them was in an area red, and in an area blue, and in an area green. Yet this was unclear, for the focus was on the fractal structure and not on the outer fractal, and on the fractal which was near, and not on that which was afar off. The keepers did have mouths and eyes and faces, yet they were little balls of the fractals, having an unearthly appearance, having a imparting of the fractals' shape somewhat upon them, softly on their edges, and the appearance of everything there in the microrealm, like lightning or like plasma, staticky and fuzzy, in picture and in clarity, as if it was all energy of some sort or kind. The microrealms were fractals. The microrealms were fractals. And the first time I met Michael, one of the keepers, he said his message as same as the second time he did. Same as the second time did he say it at the first. I also was like a keeper of the fractals, a small piece of the fractal, for I became their shape, a smaller one, because the keepers were of varying sizes. And whenever the keepers planted a seed to take root, they appeared to have arms and hands, as it were, with which to plant the seed. Their hands did have fingers, and their voices, some of them, were as the voices of children. So, yeah, Michael tried to plant the seed. That's what his name was, Michael. So, yeah, the appearance was kind of fuzzy, staticky, but at the same time, almost like it wasn't. Like it was all energy. I know how this sounds, but I trust y'all, and I wait on y'all. Maybe somebody will discover this. They're looking into all kinds of stuff with that LHC over there, and y'all does give. This is the last days, where sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall dream visions. You know. So there you have it. The microrealms. They're looking at all these different shapes, and hyperdimensions, and the LHC creating black holes and blasting particles to pieces and ripping open the space-time continuum. And you know, Yah has all this information already. He made it all, and there are things that he has not revealed to us, and scripture would be overloaded if he wrote everything in it, and everything kind of is in there. If you look at the Bible code, it's just encoded within there, but people didn't really necessarily, I don't know, but all I know is he reveals things in due time, and when knowledge shall increase. Back then we probably didn't, it wasn't, it matters now. And so maybe he's revealing it now you know, he does nothing unless he reveal it to his servants, the prophets. Surely, Yahuwah does nothing unless he reveal it to his servants, the prophets. What is that? Hosea 3:7. Let me pull that up. Hosea 3:7, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look up that. Okay, that's not. I'm sorry, that's not Hosea 3:2. Surely God does nothing unless he reveal it to his servants, the prophets. It's Amos 3:7. There we go. Amos 3:7. Surely Yahuwah does nothing except he reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Now we know that, everything that you do, you reap what you sow. And what do you sow? You know your words have power, and what you speak can be brought into existence. It's like planting. What you plant takes root and can give seed. It takes root of seed and can produce fruit. Some things may not take root, but many things may. And so we know that this happens. Now, how does it happen? And where? Where in the spiritual realm? Well, the micro realm, it seems like. It's the place in the spiritual realm where the micro realms are the smallest of realms. And it's where the seeds are planted. And it takes root. And that is where things are sown. So that's why I called it Himakum Katanid E Deberut Zerua, which is the smallest of places where things, where words are sown. I was specifically told, if you say something, if you say something, it has to be planted. Words were spoken before, and it caused damage. It's not a place to speak, but that is the place where words are planted and grow and are deposited, and when people speak and they're sown. And I guess, and here it's sown in a micro realm, and then in this realm that's where people may reap if it takes root. And the micro realms were fractals. They were fractals, like a 3D. They were 3D fractals, and they went on and on and on for who knows, probably eternity, longer. And so, who knows? I know people are probably like, this guy talking about microrealms, and hey, I trust y'all. And so, yep. And I was greeted by Michael, one of the keepers of the Microrealms. And his charge was to warn people against speaking. And so, I usually hate, not hate, but I'm sorry. I repent for saying that. I usually do not try to give interpretations of my dreams. So I'll give a disclaimer. I do not know fully what this means or is. Only Yah knows. And pray, and go to him and pray yourself and see what he says about this, and let him confirm with you and what he gives to you. On that note, it's very late, but I'll stay up to do Yah's will and his works. But maybe scientists will discover this. The microrealms, what you reap, you sow, and there's a place where it is where words are sown. Himakum e deberut zerua, and I know I'm speaking ancient Hebrew, not modern Hebrew, so my pronunciation will be different. You know, my comb is place. You know, I'm not even gonna try to speak modern. My language is ancient. Modern is not my language. Well, it's my language corrupted, but that's not important. It's the place where words are sown. So be careful what you speak. Be careful of what you speak. Every idle word shall be taken into account in Judgment Day. There's a place where these words go. Every idle word will be taken into account on the Judgment Day. So watch what you speak. Watch what you reap by watching what you sow. Shalom, shalom. I love you, family. I love you no matter who you are. With the love of Yahushua HaMashiach, the Messiah, and the love of Yahuwah Elohim. Yahuwah Sabaoth is his name. Known as Jehovah. Shalom.